Perfect. And that'll work just
Maybe.
like you did last time. It'll be great.
All right.
Sorry for the interruption, but thank you. We're back
So
to Hannah's Bible.
oh, not a problem. So, yay, I'm learning slowly.
Doing
All right,
wonderful.
we are at Abram's wife is Sarah. Here you go. What elderly woman saw baby Jesus at the temple?
Anna.
Well done.
Not to be confused with the
From
Annas in our group.
Luke. Right. So this one doesn't have a last name. This is like Anna of the Temple rather than Anna
Well,
W or Anna E.
Anna the prophetess sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Who was Isaac's wife, the mother of Esau and Jacob?
Rebecca.
Well done, Rebecca.
It's the only way I keep her straight.
Then again, I might have said Rivka.
What woman was,
Might have.
what woman was Jacob required to marry before he could marry the woman's younger sister?
Leah.
Leah, from Genesis 29. What woman helped the Israelite spies who were scouting out her city of Jericho?
That's yours, Anna.
What do you mean?
That's the one you asked about.
Esther.
Rahab.
Oh,
On that-
Rahab.
On that.
Rahab.
No.
I just couldn't read it.
Rahab's a good story. You want to read that one? Joshua 2. She was a harlot.
Joshua 2. Okay.
One could call her a feisty businesswoman also with less connotation.
Here we go. What barren woman was given a child after she pleaded at the temple? And what was her child's name?
Hannah Samuel.
I have a little story about this. My daughter, Hannah,
Well done.
when our Bishop Samuel first became bishop, he was at our church and met Hannah, and she was rather young at the time and had just done this story. And so she said, "Oh, you're my son." And so ever since, the bishop, every time he sees my daughter or sees me, he asks how his mom is.
He remembers.
Good story.
Yes, he does remember. He's amazing.
Yeah. Good connection.
Mm-hmm.
What woman brought lavish gifts when she came to visit King Solomon?
Queen of Sheba.
Indeed. From
She's
1 King 10.
She the first of the 700 wives? Or no, the Pharaoh's daughter was, right?
Right.
She became
And
one of the
I don't know that
700.
the Queen of Sheba and he had an intimate relationship, although they could have, but I don't think that one's stated quite so clearly. I think she just came to visit.
I
But
thought they
there's
had come to.
one of them that doesn't have a name of her own. She has a position, but not a name.
I thought they had a military alliance.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes, yes, indeed. What were the names of Naomi's two daughters-in-law?
Ruth and who else?
Orpha.
There you go.
Well done.
Oprah.
From the
Oprah
book
is
of Ruth. Imagine that.
Oprah is actually named after Orpha. She tells the story of a little confusion on spelling. But Oprah Winfrey is named after this this one woman. And I have the same story. I'm named after Rebecca, and my mom had trouble with spelling. So I'm spelled differently than the biblical one.
I always joke around because in school, dealing with so many different spellings of kids, I
Yeah.
was once talking to a nurse that worked in the maternity ward, whatever, and I said, you know, before they come in, they need to be told to figure out the spelling of their child's name because after the baby's born, they're like in no condition to write it out. They need to figure all that out before.
Yeah, I agree. So, and my mom was a bad speller too. That's why my name is Kathy, not Catherine or Kathleen or anything else, just Kath.
I
Short
think my
and sweet.
parents had trouble spelling my name.
So they could be dyslexic and it's okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My
Front with
sister,
the
for
back.
her children, she used common names, but she changed the spelling on every one of them so that they wouldn't be normal.
Well, then I always feel sad because they'd never be able to buy a license plate at the tourist stops.
There you go.
Or a shot glass with their name on it.
Because we all need those.
Oh, absolutely.
What were the names of Timothy's mother and grandmother?
Lois and Eunice, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Excellent. Eunice and Lois. Good job.
As the first
Well,
female pastor of many congregations, I learned my women of the Bible.
Oh, well, then you have a heads up on everything, but you also saw this too. So, but yes, indeed. What woman conspired with her husband to lie about the sale price of some land?
I think that's Sapphira.
Do you remember where the story is?
Is that an axe?
Yeah, it's an axe.
Yep. Yep. And indeed, it was Sapphira.
That's another good story if you like a little tantalizing detail. I know, Anna, you like to read tantalizing stories. This is a fabulous one.
I just wrote it down. Thank you.
Mhm. We called
In
it
the
an
book of
evangelism.
Acts, who was the businesswoman? Oops, go ahead.
Oh, I was just joking. Ananias and Sapphira, I've called good evangelism programs because if you hold back on your giving, the end was not good for them.
Indeed.
I'm only joking, though. I wouldn't actually do that.
Well, you could share it that way. It might help. In the book of Acts, who was the businesswoman who dealt in fine purple fabric?
Lydia.
Well done, Lydia. And why was that unique? Like, who cares? It's purple and not red.
Because that was kind of like the king's colors, the elite colors.
It was a difficult color to
And why? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's not like you can go get red beets and throw them in and end up with that color. So.
I think they got it from the abalone shell.
Yes,
It was
Mhm.
difficult to get.
you had to dive deep. It was very expensive and very dangerous.
Good job. We are so smart.
And I think Wendy was going to say something too, but held back.
I was gonna say that it was a hard color to do. That's, yeah.
All right. What woman, along with her husband, accompanied Paul to Syria?
Is that Priscilla?
It is indeed. Good
Then it
job.
would have been Aquila with her, right?
Yep. Oh, dog's tired. We're getting bored. Got to get some good stuff coming up.
You heard that.
What woman acted quickly to avert much bloodshed after her husband disrespected King David? If you don't remember her name, do you remember any part of the story wrapped around that?
Bathsheba?
No, this is the wife of a really rude
Oh.
neighboring king who offended David badly, and so his wife had to sneak behind him. I forget, it was a Vacation Bible story maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but not one I was familiar with. But she brought all kinds of food and just kind of wined and dined the whole military arm around David, and then explained that her husband was a fool and made a good joke about his name.
Whoa.
But it wasn't Abigail, was it?
It was. It
That's
was.
another good story, though.
Oh, it was Nabal.
It's a great-
was her
Thank you.
husband.
Right. Yep.
Which I think, doesn't Nabal mean fool? Or it sounds something like fool. It was a pun that she made.
Yes, pretty sure. Oh, good. So we're getting a couple new women in here,
And a dog.
and somebody's happy about that. What was the name of the female prophet? Prophetess.
Deborah?
She was a judge.
Yeah, well done.
She was a judge. Was she
In
referred
judge.
to as both?
What I found, yeah, but that doesn't mean anything because I got a lot of the questions from, internet stuff.
Mhm.
But we can check that out. Cindy, you can double check that in your new book.
I will.
Did you write it or did you purchase one, Cindy?
In my free time, I just wrote a new book.
Well, you've had this whole pandemic and you have a wealth of information.
I just happened to find a book, The Women of the Bible, and I was like, oh, I wish I would have had time to read it before today, but I didn't.
What was the name of Moses' mother?
Jochebed.
Wow, good job. From Exodus.
Okay.
What expert seamstress was brought back to life after Peter prayed for her?
Thinking Dorcas.
Yeah, or Tabitha, depends on what you read, but yes, from Acts. Another good story.
Mm-hmm.
What woman in the Old Testament was thrown down out of a window, died, and never buried?
Jezebel.
Yeah, get that picture in there.
I love the eyes.
Because we call people Jezebel sometimes. What was the name of the servant girl who was overjoyed that Peter was knocking on the door? This is a great story. If you don't know this one, check this out. It's short, but it's really cool, funny.
Rhonda.
This is Rhoda.
Rhoda.
Yeah, from Acts. And she's so excited that Peter's there that she runs and tells everybody, Peter's here, but she doesn't open the door and let him in.
I love that.
Which wife of David was the mother of the rebellious Adonijah?
Hmm. I do
I
not
get-
know this one.
He had a lot of wives, but
Yes, he
not
did.
as many as Solomon.
No.
Who was formed from the rib or the side of Adam?
Eve. Eve.
Yeah. All good?
And I think your volume is turned down a little bit.
Well,
Or now I hear you. Maybe you were just a
You're
little
good.
further away.
I said it quietly
Ah,
because I just got a friend here. I don't know. I got a big nose stuck in my arm.
I love that cartoon, Kathy. That's really cute.
yes.
Who had a son, Isaac, in her old age?
Sarah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Who was turned into a pillar of salt?
Lot's wife.
See, there's
Very
nothing
good.
without her own name.
Maybe that's why she was salty she didn't get named.
Jack always refers to her as a pillar of salt.
Yep. Who gave birth to Jacob's firstborn son, Reuben?
Leah.
Yeah.
Well done. And who was the mother of twins, Jacob and Esau?
Rebecca.
Yeah. So I know we already had these women, but we didn't have them in that context. So I wanted to throw these in too. Who was the mother of the Levitical priesthood?
What would that be? Yocheved? Aaron's mother?
Aaron's wife,
Oh.
Elisheba. And I don't know that there's any other reference to her. This is the only one I found.
Ah.
So definite trivia, at least from my point of view. I'm sure from their family it's not.
You could probably argue
Who
for
died during the birth of, I'm sorry, what was that?
I was just saying for Wendy, one could probably argue whether it's Aaron's mom or Aaron's wife.
Yeah, I was thinking mom.
Yeah, that would make sense too. Who died during the birth of her son named Ben Onai?
Rachel.
Rachel.
Indeed.
She wanted him named that because that was child of pain.
And then Jacob renamed him.
Benjamin.
Who were the two sisters of Bethany whose brother was Lazarus?
Mary and
Mary
Martha.
and Martha.
Yeah.
That's a cute cartoon too.
What woman was given as a wife after her future husband brought in 200 Philistine foreskins as a gift to her father?
You know, I was thinking it was Delilah, but I was wrong.
Don't we all want this as a gift?
Yeah.
It was Michael, and that's King Saul's daughter, right? For David. Who was the queen of Persia who refused to submit to her husband, King Ahasuerus' request?
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
That
Queen.
was,
Go ahead, Anna.
I can't remember her name. It's-
Just talked about her.
I was ready to say it and it just,
When we go to the show, it'll come back.
yes.
Queen Esther.
Well, it wasn't Esther. It was,
No.
But this is the first one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was thinking Esther too.
No.
What was her name?
he packed her in and got Esther then.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just can't remember her name at the moment.
Nah, I can't either.
Starts with a V.
Vashti.
Yep. Well done, Vashti. And we all respect her and love her because she said, no, just say no.
But be ready for the consequences.
He wanted her to come to his banquet.
Right.
He just wanted arm candy, that's all.
Yep.
What was King Saul's wife's name?
We probably had a lot of them, so we could name anyone.
Go for it. There you go. Ahinoam from 1 Samuel 14:50.
I can't even say that.
Definite idea.
On
I think it's Ahinoam.
no, I know.
What dancer so enchanted Herod that he offered her anything she wished?
Salome.
Oh, no.
It was the daughter of his wife.
Yeah,
Daughter of Herodias.
that's right. And that's exactly how it's expressed. She
Oh, isn't
doesn't
it
have a
Solomon?
name. You know what? I don't think so. I thought so too, but it's not what I found.
Okay.
At least
I always thought
in the
it was
Bible that I was
Salome
using.
that did that dance.
Yeah, I did too.
That, because she wanted John's head on a platter or whatever.
Right, right. And she did the dance, and the mom, she went to the mom then and said, what should I ask for? And Herodias is the one that said the head of John the Baptist. And I
Okay.
thought it was Salome too, but I didn't find that in the Bible I was using. So we'll have to look it up and see if maybe different versions have some names in there.
I just looked it up and it only says the daughter of Herodias.
Huh.
Yeah, and I looked up Salome and only have her in Mark as the sister of James and Joseph.
Huh.
Okay,
But you're right, there is something there, Wendy, because I remember that
Yeah.
too. I don't have that resource here.
I have a list from Wikipedia and there's it says Salome, number 1 is daughter of Herodias. Name in Hebrew is derived from shalom, meaning peace, and it's in Mark and Matthew. Then there's another Salome later, a follower of Jesus, present at his crucifixion.
Yeah.
All right. So yay. Daughter of Herodias, alias Salome, who dedicated her son Samuel to the Lord. We have this.
Hannah.
Hannah, indeed. So when I get a screen across that says your internet is not stable, do you guys see that as well?
No.
I'm
No.
not.
Your voice just gets a little bumpy.
All right. Who was the mother of Solomon?
Bathsheba.
Yeah. And there we have David checking her out.
Kathy, when you mentioned Elisheba, it made me wonder because Eli in Hebrew is for God. And so I looked up what Sheba was, and Sheba is the oath or the covenant. So Elisheba would have been a reminder of God's oath or covenant. So then I looked up what Bathsheba was. And then I lost it again real quick. But I think it's ironic that this is a reminder of the covenant, and David breaks the covenant with her.
Is Bath's daughter?
Yes, you're right. Thank you. So like the bat mitzvah, the daughter.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. So the daughter
that's
of oath is
connection.
what her name is. So he broke his oath to God with the daughter of oath.
Huh. Cool connection, like language.
Hebrew's really cool.
Who found a baby floating in a basket on the Nile?
Pharaoh's daughter.
Indeed. Yay, well done. And I think that's supposed to be reeds rather than little green snakes. Who became Queen of Persia in place of Vashti? And everybody says,
Esther.
yay.
Hadassah.
Oh, nicely done. Way to go. Wendy gets extra credit.
Who was the sister of Aaron and Moses?
Miriam.
Well done. Miriam.
Rabbi told me that would be my name. It wouldn't be Mary. It would be Miriam.
Hmm.
Who was the mother of Ishmael?
Hagar.
Good job. You guys know all these. Well done. Who told her husband to curse God and die?
Job's wife. I'm not sure of her name though.
She doesn't have a name other than Job's wife. It's
Yeah.
another one with a position, not a name.
Mm.
And you can tell that annoys me.
I like the position in
Well,
the
maybe-
clipboard though. That says a lot.
And that reminds me of in Esther when the wife is talking to her husband before he gets hung on the gallows, like, you fool.
Mm.
Who told people to call her Mara because she became bitter with God?
I believe that's Naomi.
It is. Yeah, from Ruth.
You know, I'm so thankful. I realized how many of these names I know because of my neighbors growing up or people in youth group that I've encountered. It helps me to know people with the names to remember the biblical names.
Yeah, and you know, there's so many names that you probably don't even associate with women in the Bible until you hear it, and then it's like, oh, that's where that name came from.
Well, I have a Sapphira in school, and I didn't know that was a biblical name until today.
Wow, cool.
Cool. Yay, then we learned something. Hooray.
Yeah. I saw several that I didn't know.
You're doing awesome, Kathy.
What wife of David had married Nabal, who died when she told him of the gifts she had given David? This is a reinforcement question.
Yep. I think it's still Abigail.
Yep.
It is still Abigail. And that's the rest of the story, of course, that we didn't mention, that she went back and told her husband what she did, and he got so angry that he died.
That's a very biblical conclusion.
Okay, and so I used, the sources that I used are there, as well as a book that I have that has women in the Bible. So yeah, and I thought that was a cute picture.
It is.
And that would be it.
That was neat. I like that.
You.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
But Wendy,
Absolutely.
when you were saying about someone at school having a biblical name you didn't know was biblical, a friend of mine from school was Aseneth. And I didn't know where her name came from. And she said that her mother had opened the Bible and found the first name, woman's name that she liked. And it was Joseph's wife.
Neat.
Wow.
Well, that brings us to an end with what I have prepared. And when we ever get back together, we can share books that we have on women in the Bible, if you would like to do that. And we need somebody who is willing to host next week.